Hey everyone, and welcome to A Real to Real. I'm Zandros,
And I'm Faye.
and today we're talking about one of the most anticipated sequels in a while, outside of Avengers: Infinity War, Deadpool 2.
Adventures of Freddy. Who's even watching that?
Yeah, who? Anyway, let's jump into this. So yeah, we just got home here at Faye's place from seeing Deadpool 2. And we're going to give our general opinions, like usual, and then go into spoiler stuff. So, let's see. You've seen Deadpool 1, I've seen Deadpool 1. I own Deadpool 1. I liked Deadpool 1. I reviewed it.
I do not own it, and I did not review it, but I did see it.
So there you go, it's something. So
I watched the movie, you guys.
she did it!
I did my homework on this one. It was by accident. It was with a different friend.
Okay. You did your homework this time. You've seen all that needs to be seen.
It only took me into my 30s to start doing homework.
No. Look at you. You're so late bloomer.
Lord, that's the truth.
So we're going to be giving our opinions on this. We're comparing it to the prequel. Prequel has been the first movie. I'm tired. We had Han Solo trailers. That's why my mind went to prequel.
Debating whether or not you're going to review it, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am because I'm really not interested, but other people might be.
Actually, yeah. In the comment section below, tell us if you want us to review Solo.
You got less than a week because I'm off that day, so I need to know ahead of time if I'm gonna have to deal with it.
So start spamming this guy's, Twitter at Sanders.
At Sanders. Yeah, don't worry, it's there. It's in the description if you want to find our Twitters, and you can always leave a comment in the video. I check those things. I get notifications on my phone. It's all good. So yeah, that's why my one to prequel. But yeah, we don't need to see anything else but Deadpool 1 for this. Unless you want to see the X-Men First Class timeline movies to get at least one joke.
Which I did not see.
I
did get the joke.
I've seen 2 of the 3. The only one I haven't seen is Days of Future Past. That was the second one. I've seen X-Men First Class and I've seen X-Men Apocalypse.
You know what? I've seen First Class.
I like First Class.
Yeah.
Did I review it for this show? I don't remember. I know I did Apocalypse. Was I even doing YouTube at the time First Class came out? I don't know. Time gets away from you. Speaking of time, this movie has time travel.
It doesn't create paradoxes at all.
We'll get into that. So general thoughts of the movie. Should I start this time?
Unless you want me to do it.
I'm asking an opinion. Because I think we let you start last time, didn't we?
I think we did.
Yeah, cool, my turn. Good movie. Had fun. It was definitely one of those movies where I had laughed out loud.
Yes, I did too.
Very literal laughing out loud. The subtle jokes worked really well in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the overall humor was really well done. I think characters were fun and interesting and exciting. I wasn't bored. I wasn't bored in the movie. So that's always a good thing. If I'm not bored in your movie, you got a plus for me on that. Because I've sat through boring movies. I sat through Man of Steel. Again, that one wasn't bad. It just had problems. Namely, Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder was bad. This one better. Since Ryan Reynolds actually had a hand in the writing in this one.
Did he?
Yeah. Did you see the credits? Writing credit.
Nice.
So that explains a lot for me on the way they went with the story this time. It's a lot more of a condensed story. It's a smaller story. It's more a personal story than the first one in a lot of ways. While it was still a personal story, it was a lot bigger as far as scale.
Yeah.
There's no helicarrier fighting this.
Yeah, I think Deadpool 1 did have a more grandiose scale.
Yeah.
But
cinematically speaking.
Even saying that, this was a good fun ride.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I had fun.
I mean, we were sitting down kind of gathering our thoughts before doing the review, and
as we do.
We kept going back to
we went
Infinity
to Arby's.
War.
That's a great place to go to.
Right after the movie.
Right after the movie makes an Arby's trip, went to Arby's.
I like the gyro. It's not my fault.
I usually like the food there sometimes, not always. Today wasn't good. So, one for Deadpool 2. So, yeah, you were saying, I'm sorry, Infinity War.
Yeah, we were kind of comparing it to Infinity War, which I've kind of decided might not really be a fair
It isn't.
thing to
To
do.
be fair, it's really not, but other people have been doing it.
Right. Since
News
Infinity War-
outlets and other people have seen the movie.
Right.
Be
And-
like, Deadpool 2 is better than Infinity War.
And I understand that they're going to do that, especially when it comes to like box office gross, that kind of thing.
And not to mention they're both Marvel properties.
Right.
And Deadpool's the most successful Marvel property outside of Logan
I'd see that one.
that isn't under the Disney umbrella right now.
But it's really not a fair comparison because they're two very different genres. Infinity War is very much an action movie,
It's a blockbuster. It's a
Yeah.
popcorn blockbuster movie.
whereas this was very much a comedy. One of the better comedies I've seen in years, to be honest with you.
Since the last Deadpool.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Tickle my throat. But it was a fun ride the entire time. There was stuff that caught us off guard in a good way.
Yeah, there were a lot of jokes that would catch us off guard, and there were a few that I felt you saw coming from a mile away.
And sometimes that's still funny. Sometimes you just kind of go, eh.
Yeah.
So there were a couple small duds, like they're not even memorable enough to remember. That says something. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can really add to this in a very general sense. Cinematography was really well done. The action was well done.
Uh-huh.
The big chase scene was really fun. Very kinetic.
Nice and frantic, the whole thing about...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still preferred the fighting choreography in the first movie more than this.
I don't remember the first movie well enough to have a dog in that fight, to be honest with you. I saw it twice.
Well, the helicarrier fight, would you believe that's more than I've seen it? Here's the thing. I own the movie. I only saw it in movie theaters once, and I've not watched it since I bought it, mainly because I have my kids most of the time. That's not something I really want to have on when they're around. But the other problem is there's other people in the house I live in that are younger that still would probably not rather see it. And their parents probably still would rather not see, Deadpool getting pegged. So
I remember that part.
I can't watch it as often as I'd like at home, and I haven't had a chance, plus I'm just distracted by other things going on. It's where I love Deadpool. I bought it because I wanted to support it and wanted it to get a sequel, so I did good there. I helped with that. Because I saw it and paid for it.
Hey!
Yeah. So it got the proper response, but it's one of the ones I can't watch too often, but I remember it enough to remember that I really enjoyed the fight choreography, the one-on-one fight that he had with, oh God, I'm forgetting the name from the first movie. Damn it, that was the whole running gag. Fuck. I'm not gonna look it up either. I'll just take the fact that I'm fucking forgetting the main bad guy's name.
So I want to say Yancey, but that was Fry's brother.
Douglas Yancey, funny. Ajax.
Ajax.
I couldn't remember the joke that he ran the entire time.
Well, it was his name.
I know, but it was something else. I thought.
He had like a kind of a feminine name, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, they really didn't have that much of a running gag in this one, did they? Outside of him wanting to die. Which we'll get into the spoilers on that because we can't really talk too much about that in this non-spoiler section.
Lots of suicide jokes. Which makes sense. It's a person who can't die.
It's Deadpool.
It's dead.
Nothing's off limits.
No.
The kid actor was good at this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He nailed it.
Yeah, he really did.
Don't know who you are, but good on you, kid.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll future me put name here, I guess, unless I'm lazy and don't care. This is nothing. That says nothing to the kid's actor. It says how lazy I am. But no, he was really good in this, and I was invested in his journey in this. I was, because it's believable.
Yeah.
Considering what happens to him in the movie, what's shown to have happened to him prior to the movie,
And it's
and just
relatable
how,
to
and because of society towards mutants.
Right. It's really relatable to anyone.
Who's ever in an angsty teen.
Yeah, well, who's ever in that kid's position where you feel like you're the outsider and like, because yeah, I mean, especially if you realize how
The society doesn't understand you, is against you,
right,
doesn't care about you. This is a disenfranchised youth
right,
character.
and I say he plays he plays the role rather well. They actually handle that storyline relatively well for it being a pretty campy story when we get down to brass tacks.
Yeah,
But it's supposed to be.
It's gritty. That's the thing I like.
It's the grittiest camp I've ever seen, but it worked. Okay.
Well, no, because grindhouse movies, the modern stuff with fucking Quentin Tarantino. There's your campy and gritty. This is the kind of gritty where it feels dirty. It doesn't feel like really clean like a lot of other movies do now. And I don't mean this in a bad way.
No,
It has that sense of disorganization. It's controlled chaos done in the right way.
Yeah.
In a cinematic aspect, compared to like Avengers: Infinity War, which was clean cut. Everything looks amazing. Everything is like right in there. There's nothing that feels like complete raw emotion and energy in the same way that it does in Deadpool. Well, I'm saying there's stuff there, but it doesn't. You don't see like even comparing what happens with Scarlet Witch to that kid, and the way he reacts to things and his emotions, everything starts welling up, the tears in his eyes. Like the one was cinematically was very cinematically well done. It's like if I'm watching a movie, a love interest and some, Infinity War spoiler, someone dies, and the way Scarlet Witch reacts to it.
I haven't reached the spoiler section yet.
In case people haven't watched Infinity War, go watch it.
Wait, does anybody at this point not know that someone dies in Infinity War?
Yeah, I'm just not saying who. I'm being somewhat nice to people that may stuff watching. I know people haven't yet. A coworker at work, he was trying to catch up on the movies because he's only seen Captain America.
Trooper, dude.
One.
You're a trooper. And you have a lot of sitting through movies before you get to
Like,
even I didn't bother going back, and I'm supposed to know
I made him a
these
list
things.
of the
I'm
ones he
doing
can
like
skip and the ones he can watch.
Oh, yeah?
That he needs to watch to get context. He hadn't even seen the other Avenger movies.
Alright, so how did you do that list and not like screw with him by adding in like DC movies to see if he'd notice?
Because I'm nice. I'm not that much of a dick, jeez. But yeah, like it's like the crying with Scarlet Witch, you could feel it, but it didn't feel the same as this kid and the pain he was going through. Like it hit you deep in a different way. Scarlet Witch didn't hit me deep. I sympathize, but with this kid, you can kind of feel that.
Well, you're already on my couch, so tell me how you really feel.
Oh, my mother never loved me. No.
I can get my notepad over there. Oh, actually,
All
to
right,
your feet
Freud.
over there.
All right, Freud.
I didn't say everything was about sex, but
This is Deadpool. It's gonna be Freud. You know it. There's a lot of dick in this.
yeah, we did like CCG dick, didn't we?
Yeah. Spoilers. Actually, it's like spoilers, like straight up. I think that would just be the angle it was in anyway.
Same as to scale.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this hit me. That kid's story hit me in different ways than some of the other movies I've seen recently. Try to have emotional scenes, just because there are kids that go through that, and this was a good analogy for that in a lot of ways. So it actually had deeper aspects to it than probably was intended, maybe. But I think even still, with the writing that Reynolds did in this, I really think he did try to add a more grounded narrative to kind of what's the word I'm thinking? Juxtapose the actual comedy.
You used a fey word.
I know words. God damn. I simplify things so much. I'm sorry that I get lackadaisical on my comment when it comes to using my vocabulary. I have enthusiasm. What can I say?
Now he's trying.
No, I'm not trying. That was just a joke.
I just want to keep watching you go now.
Oh. We're getting ready to go into spoilers.
My baby bird's about to fly.
He's got a lexicon. It's amazing.
Alright, now he's just gone into thesaurus territory on us.
Yeah. Yeah, good movie. I had fun.
Yeah, my over-under on it, definitely go see it.
You're over under?
Yeah.
Okay. I was making sure I heard correctly because I thought I had a stroke for a second. What was going on that I had that feeling recently?
Tell us about the time you had a stroke.
No, there was something that happened. It just popped in my head. It's like, I feel like I had a stroke watching something recently. It's because I just didn't get it. I didn't understand what was going on, and I can't remember now. It's going to bug me. Sorry, that was just a random moment. It's one of those things where like something happens, and you don't get what's going on. It's like, did I have a stroke?
So, in case Xandris has a stroke on us and we need a new co-host for this,
I'm going to have a fun time getting to my passwords.
Right, yes. Getting into your passwords for the first time. It'll be a struggle.
That explains all the extra porn. You're studying, I know. You're trying to understand things.
One day I'll human.
You're working on it, and I'm proud of you. So yeah, well, I think we're about time to get into spoilers. But general recommendation: go see the movie. If you loved Deadpool 1, you'll like this. You really will like it.
Yeah.
Will you love it as much as the first Deadpool? I don't think so. I don't love it that much, but I like it. I really do enjoy it, and I do think it's worth seeing.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and unfortunately, I don't remember a whole lot of Deadpool 1, so I don't know how much you can take, my words to heart. So, yeah, grain of salt time. But I enjoyed it about as much as I remember enjoying Deadpool 1.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not a big superhero kind of girl. I'm pretty easy to please.
I'm not going to misconstrue this, I promise. This is a Deadpool movie. We don't do that here.
Do it.
Misconstrue things. There's no such thing as innuendo here. Spoiler section. If you don't want to hear about what happens in the movie in any direct detail, skip to this timestamp, and we'll give you our final general thoughts and our rating for the movie at that point. So, you've been warned. Here's the flashing warning sign. So, the movie starts off with another flash forward, much like the first Deadpool movie. We have taking out and eating like a toaster strudel kind of thing, a breakfast thing.
I didn't catch what it was.
I kind of did. I've seen it before. I've had it before.
See, that's
called like a
different.
scrambler or something like that. It's like a Pillsbury thing.
How much privilege this guy had. I didn't even get Pop-Tarts. I had like
I didn't live in a cabin in the woods like you did.
I had like off-brand toaster pastry. If I was
That's
lucky.
kind of what it is, to be fair. The Pillsbury stuff it's the non-Pop-Tart stuff. It's either Pop-Tarts or not Pop-Tarts.
Spans over here like I was raised on toaster strudel. Peasant.
No, actually, I really wasn't. That was something that my mom started buying like when I was in high school for some reason, and they weren't that good. I like my brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Thank you very much.
Slummy buffet, it's fine.
I like off-brand. I'm not that bad, but when it comes to this opening, it's basically he eats that. He knocks down a bunch of glass shit. There's pictures of the girlfriend.
Are they? But I think they're man and wife at this point, aren't they?
No, I don't think so.
Who can afford a wedding in this economy anyway?
Yeah, really. I thought here's like it said it was their anniversary. At one point, so I don't know. But anyway, knocks down stuff. You see pictures of the girlfriend, and then he lays down on a bunch of barrels of oil. After he's already turned on the oven, left it open, wafted it. Lit a cigarette.
So we're doing that thing where we like, our spoiler section is like the entire movie.
No, we're not going to go that far, because this one doesn't have as much depth as some of the other stuff we talk about, and my depth of hatred isn't here. So it's okay. I don't have to go to everything. I'm just explaining the first scene.
Okay.
At this point, and then just starts making jokes, flicks up a cigarette, it drops in, explodes, and then we see Deadpool parts, including him flipping off the audience, talking about Logan, the movie. Wolverine's whole death thing. Well, you know what? I'm gonna die in this one. And technically, that's true.
I did forget that they totally did that foreshadowing in the very beginning.
Yeah. So that's where we start. Then we go through the flashback to see where he's been basically on international, as he put it, and basically showing him doing his hitman stuff. People getting heads lopped off, arms lopped off.
He's murking, he's mouthing. The whole Deadpool shtick.
Yeah. There was I like the part in the sauna, or not the sauna, the onsen, I think is what it was, where he's wiping his face after he got blood in his eye, and it's like a towel, but looks up and it's like the towel around somebody's crotch. Goes, what was it?
Scoutmaster
Steve,
something like that.
Scoutmaster Steve. It gets clocked. It was a good opening. The action was good, very quick. You see some of the stuff in the trailer. So we're not going to talk much about that one.
I never saw the trailer.
Well, that's what I said. No, not you. You out there in YouTube land. Is that what it is? YouTube land, YouTube world,
YouTube.
the
land.
internets.
YouTube land sounds like really, really depressing now, with all like the weird crap they've been doing about. Yeah.
Everything. All the demonetization. It's okay. We're not monetized.
We're not.
I was at one point, and they changed the rules, and now it wasn't.
Do you think they could do a demonetization-themed log flume ride? Bathe in the tears of people who thought they were going to be able to make a career on YouTube.
You have enough to fill it.
The entire crowd
Just a bunch of people walking around, actors and everything, in big yellow circles with dollar signs on them. You occasionally see him, the green one walk around. That's a special day.
It's a guy dressed up as Logan Paul.
Yeah. Dead body hanging somewhere in the background.
Oh, I took too far.
No, it didn't. No farther than he did.
Who was the
Jackass.
Who's the other jackass that like can pull a bunch of stupid crap?
Jake Paul, his brother.
PewDiePie, the other really annoying guy.
Nowhere near as bad as fucking Jake and Logan Paul.
Look,
nowhere near.
I didn't even know who they were until that whole thing.
I don't watch PewDiePie, so this doesn't mean defending PewDiePie. He's made some stupid decisions, yes, but
actually, I'm not even making.
I'm indifferent to PewDiePie. I'm indifferent. He's not for me. If he's for you, cool. He's nowhere near as bad as those two. I give him that.
I've never seen content from either three, so. Okay, Chew Hunter's Fly. They cuss while playing video games. It's great.
But yeah, it's just
One day I'd like to crap on Gavin too.
when it came back to the story,
Not literally.
we have this nice slow-mo scene of this bad guy running from Deadpool as he's cutting everyone. He uses a fucking chainsaw, guy. I loved that one.
I noticed they skipped the gore on that instead of like when they chainsaw
It was
the
in the
guy.
background with that. Sometimes less is more. I think that's good.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
instead of like blood flying around, there was like cash or something flying around. I was
Yeah,
like,
I think there was a little blood, not a lot.
Yeah.
And like coming down, the door closes right as that happens.
yeah.
That was good. So this bad guy locks stuff in a panic room. It's like, oh crap, I got an appointment. I got an anniversary to go to. Goes to head back. Him and the Miss Banter do a little thing. He presents her with they present each other with a box as their guest. Her box is a token from one of their first dates, kind of thing. It was from
He
where
gives
they
her
went.
the token. Her box to him is
Her
IUD.
ID, thank you. And he makes a what's it? What's it called? IDU? Oh, fuck, what are they fucking called? The missiles. My brain. I usually know them.
ICBM.
Okay, yeah. He makes a joke.
Intercontinental Ballistic
Yeah.
Missile. ICBM.
He makes that joke. And basically, she's saying, "I would have kids," which she's happy about. So now I can have little scrotum babies. Actually, would they come out looking as fucked as he is?
No, because the damage to him is
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, because of his mutant powers, when he passed on the cancer to the kids, and they'd come out looking like that, and still have the.
Is it the cancer that gives him the powers? I don't think it's the
It's-
cancer that gives him the powers.
No, the cancer and the
Helped
mutant
activate
generator.
it.
Yeah, and they're kind of intertwined in a way. That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be weird? Just little mini Ryan Reynolds, scrotum kids running around.
Well, technically, I think the lore for that is it just takes a stress activator to make it happen.
Usually around puberty.
Yeah, so it could be anything. I mean, for all we know, someone could try parking a kid or a vehicle on one of their kids instead of me this time, and bam! Now they can
Maybe.
regenerate.
But I don't know. Basically,
It worked for me.
they're already telegraphing she's gonna die. They were telegraphing the beginning. They really telegraphed it here. And then the bad guy that he didn't get earlier comes by with a bunch of goons. They do this whole like shooting thing, and knives are gone everywhere. And you're like, "Oh crap, did she get hit?" And she gets up, she's fine. And they're like, "Oh, it's a good thing I have to use this butter knife." One more fucking person, of course, comes in. It's the bad guy from earlier. Goes to take a shot. Deadpool turns around, flings the fucking butter knife, kind of whiffs it, hits the door frame. Guy freaks out, misaims, takes the shot, because it was like right around the same time, and the bullet hits her instead, and she dies. So he chases down the guy and throws the both of them in front of an ambulance, himself and the bad guy. And basically, that's our movie: is that he is completely and utterly beating himself up for her death. And that's our series tone the entire movie, is that he wants to die so he can be with her, kind of thing, and he wants to punish himself. because he's the one person of the people that killed her that got away in his mind. And I'd say for a plot, I think it's a good story. That I think contradicts a lot of the stuff that tends to happen with Deadpool.
Yeah.
So I like that change.
I will say I'm still disappointed that we haven't got to see Lady Death.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, that would have been a great poke at the whole thing with Thanos in comics, and that they didn't use her. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't make Infinity War. There was a joke right there, and they could have done it, but they didn't. And that's fine. I kind of wanted it to happen too. I kind of expected it. Maybe that's going to happen, but we just don't know it. Nah, didn't happen. Missed opportunity.
I'd say take his dead wife and make her Lady Death.
Nah. Like I said, missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity. Colossus at some point comes around after Deadpool blows himself up, brings him back in a body bag to the X-Mansion. And there's comedy, as always. Colossus is trying to be a good friend. Why, I don't know. But trying to be a good friend.
I don't know. I do find the whole...
It's a good dynamic.
Yeah, because he's doing the whole Boy Scout...
Boy
Scout. He's doing the whole Boy Scout shtick in a Russian accent, which I think would make him my favorite pairing with Captain America.
Sorry. It's like imagine the Jewish version of the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts?
My mind goes to weird places sometimes. I'm sorry. It's just... I was thinking Schmear.
Schmear.
I was listening to Weird Al recently. Leave me alone. Pretty Fly for a Rabbi. Still a fun song.
Not a big fan of Weird Al.
I know. But yeah, Colossus basically trying to get him to join the X-Men to turn his life around. Mind you, this is after Deadpool has had his interaction with his lady love in the afterlife. This is like, your heart's just not into it. So when Colossus brings up the whole, like, do good, I know you have a good heart kind of thing, he's like, this is what I need. This will help me get to her. So he has an ulterior motive to joining the X-Men. He even gets a trainee shirt.
Is that like an official trainee shirt?
I don't know.
The yellow T-shirt with the X on.
Everyone's kind of reacting to it like it's normal.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder. It's weird.
Which means that's a hell of a piece of merchandise at this point. Just the X-Men trainee T-shirt.
They probably will be after this.
Oh yeah. You're
possibly.
gonna see people walking around wearing it. Mark my words.
On the back.
It's gonna be a thing.
It's very possible the way the marketing has been for this movie.
No, it's a thing. I already know it's coming. I'm gonna see a bunch of it.
So, the first mission,
as an X-Men trainee at the one.
His first mission as an X-Men trainee is basically this kid is outside this mutant home, and there's fire everywhere, and there's a standoff with police.
This mutant home thing is basically a stand-in for gay conversion camp.
Kinda. Actually, it's more like religious orphanages.
Yeah.
I'd say more than anything, because it's an orphanage.
So I took it as being like one of those pray away the gay kind of facilities.
Oh, sure, that's a good part of it.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of real strict religious things. These are organizations that would let gay people adopt.
Right.
Because they're gay, therefore they can't raise kids. I think this is part of a standard just for religious orphanages, which would have that stuff. But that's definitely there.
Oh, yeah.
In this, especially with what we find out going on there. But this kid's outside, and he has the ability to basically, I guess, create enough heat to actually create fire.
He seems to be able to create, rings.
Because he's not throwing fire.
No, he's creating fire, but he's also creating a burst of air to propel it.
He's basically igniting the oxygen a lot of ways.
Yeah. I think that might be what he's actually doing is concentrating the oxygen.
Because it's not like he's sitting there throwing a fireball. Because notice, whenever he does his attacks, it's not like you see a physical fireball coming out of his hands.
No.
What you're seeing is like a ring sometimes, or just like the stuff around him. Because if you watch when he walks down later in the movie, walking down the orphanage's hallways, and his hands burning up, you see the wood burning, but he's not touching it.
Yeah.
And his hands burning up red. So I think that's what his power is.
His hands burn up red whenever he does any of it.
Yeah,
but I noticed that he was basically pushing the fireballs out with some kind of a blast of force that seemed to be like a propelling like air, I think.
Yeah.
Like a superheated air or a concentration.
It's like mixing a firebender and an airbender.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Less karate though.
Yeah.
All right, I know it wasn't all karate. It was different types of martial arts.
But I might be wrong. I might just be missing something. Maybe he did throw some fireballs, but I don't think I remember seeing it even when he launched Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh no, it wasn't that he was throwing a
Colossus
fireball
or Deadpool.
itself. He was creating a ring of fire and
Or
propelling
just like a fireball in the sense that it's just a mass energy of fire at people. But I think it's more heating up the air than around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And igniting the oxygen particles.
Yeah, and then having it travel along
whatever direction he's sending it. Because they don't have that much control over it.
It's like we're agreeing, we're disagreeing on semantics at this point. I think.
Somewhat. I think it's just we're trying to figure out how it worked. In a way, like we have an idea, but we don't know. They never explain it.
No, they really don't.
No. But the kid's kind of freaking out, and it's a teenager. He's like 13, 12, something like that. He's really young. And he's like freaking out. Not want to go back inside. I guess they've had incidents from before or something. I don't know.
So I was thinking he was a little bit older, like in the 14, 15, 16 range.
No, it's not that.
When you start to hit angst.
He's younger than that.
Does he?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
He's no older than 14. No older than 14.
They all kind of look alike.
Ageist.
Just humans.
All humans look the same.
2 arms, 2 legs. Must you have a head?
Most of them don't have arms and legs either.
Humans?
Yeah, there's a lot that don't have arms and legs.
There's a lot, but most of them do.
Yeah. Can't pray that away. Sorry, politics I won't get into here, I promise. But there's a kid here, basically Deadpool's trying to talk him down. Doesn't work, because Deadpool. So it comes out, launches his sword at the kid, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And I'm like, I hope they're not going to do what I think they're going to do, and then they don't. The way he threw the sword, it goes around, and the handle, like the actual pummel, dead in the skull, knocks kid out. Like, okay, that works. Like, don't tell me he's just going to try to kill the kid. Like, don't be that guy, Deadpool. Don't be Anakin Skywalker. So that worked. They're putting the collar on the kid. These collars, which are new.
Actually, yeah, I had questions about the collars.
They dampen mutant powers.
Wasn't that like a whole huge plot to like one of the X-Men movies was, hey, we have this kid that can stop your superpowers and we're going to use him to stop everybody's... Wasn't that like a huge we can't let this happen thing? So how did
X3.
they let like
X3.
someone just make...
Different timeline.
I don't know this shit.
That was from the first X-Men trilogy.
Okay.
That's the one they don't talk about. Because X3 was awful. That's where they brought Dark Phoenix in. You know, like they were going to do recently, and then they pushed it back.
Look, it's all the same to me. As like a non-superhero person going into this is all the same to me.
To be fair, comics do repeat themselves. And comic book movies repeat themselves. How many times have we seen Spider-Man get his great power, great responsibility things? 3 times? In, 15 years?
Still love that one, like, thing I saw online. I think it was a short video or something.
Good power,
like
good responsibility.
No. It's Spider-Man in like a convenience store. He gets a thing of Uncle Ben's rice. It just like drops to his knees.
No. So they get the kid collared, and after the kid's collared, you see some marks on the kid's neck. It's like, were they abusing you? The kid's kind of like quiet, kind of starting to get shifty-eyed. And it's like, which one was it? And there's a couple of guys that we've now met. One's a mutant, one's a...
Still love that.
One's a little,
what
like,
was the joke?
old man.
Was it pedophile Jared Kushner?
Something like that. Basically, Deadpool then shoots one of them in the head in front of everybody and gets his ass taken into the icebox as well, which is where the mutants go.
It was Kushner, by the way.
So now Deadpool and this kid... So yeah, Fire Fist.
Got plans for that.
That was interesting. Fire Fist was a...
Yeah, Fire.
I like how they didn't laugh when they named that for at least a few minutes.
They gave him.
And the kid's angsty. Talking about like when you're in the house, you gotta find the biggest, baddest guy, and he tries to start a fucking fight during lunch. Clocked in the face. Me see an underage kid get clocked in the face several times by adults.
Yes.
Once by our hero. It was amusing. It's like, kid, stop. He's so fucking try hard for most of this movie, and that's his character.
He's supposed to be. He's a kid. He's trying to fit
Yeah.
in.
Well, he's not just trying to fit in as much as he's trying to
in
think he's big and bad.
jail.
He's trying to think he's big and bad. And except he's just big because he's a fat kid.
Which is every angsty kid ever thinks they're the biggest, baddest.
I got the biggest dick in the yard. God damn it!
And then they try to fight me.
Yeah.
Every time. I don't know why.
Yeah. And we met Black Tom.
It's a whole.
Which is some guy. I don't know what his power was. But we met Black Tom, who decked the kid, and then stabbed Deadpool with the pin that the kid had up his ass, or they call it his prison wallet. Yeah. Deadpool, having this collar on, has gotten rid of his regeneration ability. Now he just has cancer. So he's kind of dying. He's like throwing up, miserable, isn't able to really fight back. While this has been going on, we have a quick cut over to Cable in the ruins of some apartment, I guess it was. It was like an apartment. I don't know if it was a house, because it seemed like it was up on levels.
I don't really know.
So I'm going to say it was an apartment.
Ruins of a domicile of some sort.
Yeah. Basically everything's burned to a crisp. And there's some corpses. And a teddy bear that's partially kind of looking scorched.
Crispy corpses.
Yep. And he's obviously very distraught. Fiddles with some stuff on his wrist, and then basically time slides. That's what they call it, right? Time shift slides, whatever. Slides. Into the past, or I guess our present. And he meets up with some farmers. And I made a marijuana patch joke from DBZ Abridged.
Every slide, he hopes to get one step closer to home.
What do you think it'd be?
Yeah.
There was a song called Sliders.
Was there?
Yeah, it was a sci-fi show. I never watched it. Yeah. Not really sure what it's all about. I think it had to do with traveling, like universes or dimensions, something like that. Maybe it was time travel. I don't remember.
Like a less fun Rick and Morty.
There was a lot of things that are less fun than Rick and Morty. But then again, the fans of Rick and Morty tend to be less fun.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like the show. I really don't like the community.
Yeah, that's a lot of things.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I play video games. Trust me, I know about enjoying something and being like, the hell is wrong with this community?
A lot of things. But basically slides back to the time, steals a truck after shocking two rednecks. As you do. And he starts prepping up, gearing up. I like the fact that he shows like his eyes are like going to repair mode. Every time he connects to something that's actually holographically shown here and how it's going to attach and everything. It was really interesting.
Actually, yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, and I like the gun had a dial.
I like that the dial went up to 11.
Yeah.
We're going
to dial it up to 11.
I don't think they ever made a direct joke on it. You just saw it.
That's a good thing with this is I like good visual gags that don't explain the joke.
Yeah.
Sometimes. The joke's self-explanatory. This was that. Because Cable's from the dark, gritty time of comics, from the dark age of comics. That's what Cable is. They even make the comment here at one point because he's going to the prison. And he's looking for someone. And he basically gets in there, beating the shit out of people, bombs all going off. He's got his fucking gun up to 8, shooting shit. And he finds Deadpool and I forget the kid's name. Russell.
Fist.
Russell. We're calling him Russell. I'm not calling him Fire Fist.
Fire Fist.
Flame Fist. Fister McFisty. Basically, finds their cell block.
Mr. Fister.
And blows it up. Luckily, they weren't in there. And so, Deadpool's thing is, oh god, this guy must be after me. What did I do to piss him off? Find out he's after Russell. Deadpool protects the kid.
He's come to pop him like a pimple.
Yep. And somehow during this, his collar gets damaged. And he gets his regeneration ability back after stopping Cable from killing the kid. More fighting ensues. Some really good little jokes, like the part where he breaks Deadpool's arm. And then Deadpool uses his broken arm, flips over him, has it wrapped around his neck like this, and is strangling him with his broken arm.
You know, like the rubber rope arm.
Like he's garroting him.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a good fight. It was a good close quarters fight. They make time travel jokes.
Yeah. See, I never remember the fights in these movies as well as you do.
I can remember the fights sometimes if they don't feel like terrible, samey kind of shit. You know, I remember fights in Star Wars, like the old prequel trilogy, or not prequel. Well, I remember some of the fights from the prequel trilogy a bit, the more condensed ones, compared to the big brawl ones they did. I remember the original trilogy.
Yeah, I often
fights.
forget that there were big brawls in prequels, and someone's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, there were like
arena
a bunch
scene.
of Jedi fighting at one point.
And then the worst Star Wars movie.
Why doesn't I forget that stuff? But I can remember like the dialogue. And, oh, that's
Because that's how your mind works. Yeah. I remember dialogue too. Sometimes I just forget names once in a while. I'm bad about that.
Like all the fighting starts happening, I guess I get bored and switch off for a bit.
Maybe that might be it because you're not big in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, really.
I like my good action movies sometimes. I like to watch. I used to watch James Bond a lot growing up. So Bond and other action movies.
James Bond. That was okay.
No, Jimmy Bond. Yes, Jimmy Bond.
So, something with the way you said it I couldn't tell if you were saying
Gold
James
Bond.
or Jay and Bob. I was like, what did Jay and Silent Bob have to do with this?
Dogma.
Good movie.
Basically, they end up. Deadpool and Cable end up blowing themselves out of the prison. Kid's left in, but you heard Deadpool say he's not friends with the kid. Doesn't care about the kid.
I'm not your friend, guy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
Oh, that was what it was.
Oh, they just keep going that route. I don't know what the actual words to it. I don't remember anymore. Just got it.
I'm not your friend, pal. I'm not your pal, buddy. I'm not your buddy, friend.
Guy. I know Guy's one of them. Not
Maybe.
your buddy, guy. Not your guy, friend.
I don't remember. Canadians, right?
So my best friends are Canadians. Hey, I've never had a Canadian.
Hey, I'm sure there's some good people.
I have never had a Canadian try to kill me. That means a lot to me.
Yet.
Yet.
It's like because there's not a lot of Canadians in America, in the U.S.
We're in Ohio. It's just like South Canada. What are you talking about?
That's Michigan.
No, Michigan's like...
Michigan's South Canada.
Michigan's that wasteland nobody talks about.
How?
It's blight.
How?
It's blight in lead water as far as the
That's
eye can
Texas. What are you talking about? Texas is like North Mexico.
North Mexico with the Napoleon complex. Everything's bigger in Texas. Don't look at my balls.
Including egos, that's for fucking sure.
Oh my god.
You know what's not bigger there?
I was totally...
You know the one thing that's not bigger in Texas?
What?
The IQ score.
I was totally hoping Texas would secede from the Union so I could try to go them into a war with Mexico just to watch them be their asses
You would have to
kicked.
go with them.
I could make it work.
They'd be fighting for the chalupa rights.
I actually like
Texas, where they hate Mexico, but they love the Mexican food. Makes no sense.
There's like only one...
Well, how do we get on this?
There's only one city in Texas I would even remotely consider going to, and it's Austin.
Only because it's liberal.
No, because the rest of Texas is like cowboys and like... At least Austin's weird. I'd feel like I have a place there. Surrounded by cowboys, I'd just be like...
We're in Ohio. People with cowboy hats exist here.
I know, it's creepy as
So I don't go to
fuck.
flea markets much. That's where you find a lot of them.
Right? What is
Yeah.
that? Why is there...
Why are we on this topic?
I have
Deadpool.
been down south, and I swear there was less like redneck stuff going on down south where you'd expect it than there is up here. It's like, why is every motherfucker?
And you're
up
just
here?
missing it. I've been down south too. I've been to Florida. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Tennessee.
I swear I've seen way more rebel flags up here than I did down there.
I've been to Gatorland, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, the house I was hanging out when I was down there.
I've actually been to the theme park Gatorland.
No, well, just the guy at his house I was staying at was mad because the game warden took the gator, but he still had the chain and the collar thingy where he was keeping it in this little pit press.
Was this in Florida?
Yeah,
that makes sense. Back on topic. We're
pissed
bad
off
about this today, aren't we? It feels like there's not a lot to talk about this movie, and that's not true.
He had the nicest pit bull. It was great.
Hey, come back to us. Movie.
There were animals. It was fun.
Yeah,
Hi.
movie. Yeah, it's like I know we keep going off topic here with our weird things, and this is indicative of the movie being bad. I think it's just that a lot of stuff's really straightforward in this one compared to some of the other stuff. This is the reason it's going to be a long review since stuff's going off topic. I'll cut out some of it, I promise. Just to streamline it.
This is going to be a whole new sub-series, Off Topic with Faye.
We could do that after this if you want. Just do an off-topic video. Just talk about random stupid shit going on in the world. 42 News. We give a shit about too much and don't give a shit about other things. Yeah. So our kid has been left in, feeling dejected, and takes one bit of advice that Deadpool gave him: make friends with
biggest guy
here, Big Tom or Black Tom or whoever.
Yeah, stop trying to fight the biggest guy here and make friends with him was the advice.
Yeah, because you're just a fat kid in prison. You're not going to get anywhere fighting anybody. And so what's he do? Makes friends with the guy in maximum security, who during the movie I was guessing was at least one of two people.
Who are your guesses?
It was going to be the Blob or Juggernaut.
I was hoping for Godzilla. I was disappointed.
Killer Croc's DC.
Oh, yeah, that is a guy.
Yeah, and it is kind of a big
I'm
monster.
not a comic book person.
Yeah.
I'm a sci-fi person.
Didn't you play Arkham Asylum?
No.
You missed out. Good game.
I don't really care for those types of games.
What, stealth?
Yeah, the whole action fight 'em up. It doesn't hold my interest.
I didn't like
I don't really
Shadow
care.
of Mordor.
No, didn't really care for that. Never cared for like Gears of War.
Oh, it isn't that.
I played the first Assassin's Creed, got bored with it. Never played another one.
We have very different game tastes.
We do.
Yeah, this was fun.
I play the fuck out of some Stardew Valley.
That was Dirty Valley.
Oh yeah, it's multiplayer now. The beta.
I haven't gotten to it. My
All
bad.
that shit.
Sorry, I've been lazy doing other things.
We could have been raising freaking crops and animals together.
All the crops.
Okay.
So that was my guess for the movie. It was one of those two characters, and because it's the only thing I can think of is some big door. Like this big area, like it's something big. It's just two people in the Marvel universe. This is X-Men based, so because a lot of the jokes tend to be, so it had to be that. So now that Deadpool has come back from the dead again, after his nice big fall down the side of a mountain and cracking his head on a rock, and then being frozen to death in a frozen lake, decides to form a team. Just get this kid because they're going to be moving them. And it's like, okay, we're going to stop this convoy. I'm going to make a team. So they start doing this little like hiring montage with looking at headshots and meeting up with people. We see Terry Crews as, what was his name? Start with it. Was it E?
Which one's Terry Crews?
The black guy. The black guy, the first guy they met.
I don't remember what his name was.
Fuck. He messes with electromagnetism.
Yeah.
Right, including your brain. Just like barometer or something like that.
No. He can make you feel anxiety and pain.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting his name already. I just remember Terry Crews because I like Terry Crews. So they get Terry Crews' character. They get what was the invisible person's name? Vanisher. Yeah, the Vanisher, which like he's not here, he might be running late. Invisible person joke.
The one that stuck out to me was Domino. She's the only one who like I really, really remember because she had that luck shtick thing, which was a lot of fun.
There's another reason you remember. We'll get to that in a minute.
Huh?
There's another reason you remember her too, because we're gonna get to that in a minute. And then there was Shatterstar, who was an alien that is better at everything than you, that you can do, kind of thing. Okay. And then there was what was
the guy who
spit acid.
Yeah.
What was his name?
can vomit acid.
What was his fucking name? His name made no sense. Oh, Zeitgeist.
Yeah, Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist. He spits acid. Like that makes sense actually in a way, because vitriolic bullshit.
Okay.
It's awesome. Who else was there?
To find out this man's a nihilist.
No.
You just basically
No. The Zeitgeist movies are completely separate from what you're thinking.
you're thinking Poltergeist.
No. There was
'Cause
movies.
The Zeitgeist is.
There was a series of movies called Zeitgeist. They're like hyper intense fucking conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah.
I know you just remember the guy's name though too. I mean, it's very possible. But if I am, I'll fix my.
Sorry, I
mistake.
mistaken that for commentary on basically the toxicity of modern society, or kind of the toxicity of the rut we've found ourselves.
Yeah,
in
no,
modern society.
It's the human zeitgeist. Yeah.
God,
That's not what I'm talking about.
it's been really
And
ugly.
again, acid toxicity. It still works. It's just the way they went about it was very literal. I spit acid. Oh, okay. Like this little catch thing. Does he have a drooling issue?
Well, I mean, if it's in his saliva.
Yeah, but does he have a drooling
Then, like,
issue?
every
Because it's like down here.
You know, every time he says, he says.
Yeah, so it'd be up here, not down
no,
here.
he'd be like,
Yeah, but it'd be up here, not down here.
it was kind of like.
No, it was like
That's
seriously dang, like hanging there like
It did
like
hang
a drool
little
cup.
bit.
It was weird. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else aside from Domino that needs to be talked about before we get to the last person in the group. And then there's Peter.
Ender.
And then saying there's Peter. And Peter's just the guy who saw an ad, thought it'd be fun. And they hire him. Much to the dismay of our cab driving friend, who now has a wanton desire to kill people. He wants to become a mercenary for hire.
Got a taste for it in the first movie.
Yeah, after he killed his wife's lover, or brother, whoever it was. He was his brother that she was doing stuff with. If I remember correctly, I don't remember, to be honest, who his full connection was to him, but he killed him, is what's pretty much told to us. And that's his whole shtick for the movie. He wants to become a mercenary. He was actually working at the bar where Weasel works, under Weasel, to train him.
He's working his way up.
Yeah, it's...
He got on the
They're not
he
very...
got in on the bottom floor.
Very bottom. They're not very memorable scenes. He mops up Deadpool's piss at one point. But yeah, like, I'll be honest, Weasel to me wasn't really worth being in this movie much. He wasn't in it much anyway, but they could use less of him. He was actually really annoying in this one.
Yeah, he was kind of...
And not in the way where he's fun.
He was there for like 2 or 3 jokes, but didn't really make...
There were jokes that they did this too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I could go without him. So...
It was a good callback to the first movie.
Yeah, so they create X-Force, because X-Men is very gendered. Because that's the joke. They're depending on the gender politics stuff, which is fine.
Yeah, they're gender neutral.
Yeah, they're very gender neutral. And they keep making the joke that there's always the running gag of Cable's racist.
Because he
Because he shot Black Tom.
He shot Black Tom.
Who was apparently a Native American. I don't know. I guess the joke's that. The joke didn't make too much sense, except like, you killed Black Tom. It's like that joke. I like when it's like, this person's so important, except he's really not. We're going to make him important. That's the joke. That's Deadpool.
It's the kind of joke I
That's a Deadpool kind of joke.
It is.
I get that, so it worked on that level. And then make it like, oh, you're racist. Like, okay, that was a funny running gag. So they get X-Force, they get in this fucking plane, they're going to dive down onto the caravan that's one of the convoy and save the kid and everything. And this is where the joke hits its climax, and I think they took too long to get to it. Because there's been conversation going on this entire flight about the wind's a little too strong. Oh no, it's okay. So they do their fun little dives out. Peter has to get kind of pushed out. He's kind of like sitting down trying to scooch it. Everyone else just kind of dives out, and then Deadpool does a little flip out. They have this badass diving scene. They activate their shit. Deadpool gets blown off course and hangs onto a sign. It's like, well, shit. And he looks up, sees everybody flailing around in the sky. It's like, oh, look at my little birds. So they start landing. First to land is Terry Crews, Burr something. And he goes face first into the window of a moving bus. I think he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
There were people working on him, so I don't know.
Yeah, he might not necessarily.
I don't know. Shatterstar lands into helicopter blades. He was a green-blooded alien.
Yeah, he actually was an alien. Not just a dick.
Might have been Vulcan.
Is that Vulcan? They were green-blooded.
Yeah.
Klingons had the blue blood.
No, they didn't. They had pink blood.
Where's the blue blood? Whatever.
The blue blood might have been. Fuck. This starts with an A. It starts with an A.
I'd seen blue blood.
The Andorians? Maybe the
Andorians.
Yeah, Andorians. But yeah, so after Shatterstar's lovely meeting with the Blades on top of the hospital, I'm assuming.
Okay.
I don't know where it was. Like it's that or some other private business. Just Blades. Zeitgeist lands into a wood chipper. Peter lands safely prior to that.
He did a good job.
Yep. That's why I was like, oh, he's going to get by a car or something, isn't he? And like, nope, didn't happen. So he goes over trying to save Zeitgeist, who starts kind of like throwing up, like coughing up blood and shit because he's caught in this wood chipper. And it spits acid and melts off his arm and everything. It's like, oh, Peter died by vomit, acid vomit. And then, and that's the end of Zeitgeist. Oh, and Vanisher lands into power lines. And it turns out he's actually there. He's clinging on and electrifying.
Yeah, mustache and everything.
No, he wasn't. He was Brad Pitt.
I thought it was some kind of facial hair.
Oh, he did, but it wasn't a mustache. It was a full
Was that Brad Pitt?
I swear it was like Brad Pitt. I might be missing it.
He's going to go for IMDb now.
Actually, I'm curious. Because was that Brad Pitt? I did say it during the movie.
He did.
So this is me
And
actually
I
looking.
didn't know because I don't know what Brad Pitt looks like.
I was right. Brad Pitt is the Vanisher.
All right.
I was right.
He doesn't look bad with long hair.
Brad Pitt's a good-looking guy. That's an older picture. That's not even a modern picture.
Middle of the road, but yeah.
And I was right. Zeitgeist. Because right below him is Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist. What was Terry Crews' name?
Fuck. I already turned.
Had a chance.
God
You
damn
blew
it. No, I don't. It's right.
They don't know who Terry Crews was.
He was Terry Crews.
Terry Crews is always Terry Crews.
That's right.
Crews plays Terry Crews.
It doesn't fucking say here.
Giving a monologue.
Bill Skarsgård
about Terry
was.
Crews.
He was Bedlam.
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 Barometer.
I couldn't fucking remember. It was a B name at least. I was at least somewhat there.
Matrix.
Barabbas.
Barabbas.
Jesus. He does compare himself to God in the movie.
Quite a bit, yeah.
So basically, the reason Domino is the one we were talking about more is because every other member of X-Force dies in the same scene, pretty much. That's why you remember Domino so well.
She survives.
Yeah. Domino's ability is that she has super luck, essentially. Her superpower is luck. And boy, does it show in this movie. I love the way they're acting. Makes like, how do you show this? It's not even that cinematic. And all this shit's going around her. She's not getting hit. Cars are flying.
As he's critiquing
it, I'm inside. Wait, what? You said you're in? How the hell did you get in? It's like, I liked Domino. She was fun. So she ends up getting in and landing and everything. Deadpool catches up there on a moped. Cable shows up. Big fight ensues inside the thing where he fights off the guards. He's trying to dodge all of her shots and everything because she's like shooting shit. Things are falling off. She's like, oh, cool. I'm going to shoot that, try and knock him out. Like, things just keep going her way. Deadpool, on the other hand, is on top of a car after he's already kind of get run over by one of the, after he gets knocked off the, he tries to jump his moped to the back of the convoy. Misses and ends up on the front hood of one of the other cars.
Yeah.
Guy shoots through his hand. He turns the gun around while it's still in his hand, fires it, kills the guy there, stabs a sword through, starts, like, pushing down the pedal through the guy's foot with the sword, and then, like, driving upside down with his ass in the air. So while that's all going on...
Like a little toddler,
Yeah.
you know, they're grabbing their toes and looking at you from like,
Yeah.
what are you? What are you doing?
The toddler think it's funny in about 5 minutes. So while that's all going on, Russell's using his little pin thing to get into the electronics of the cage he's in. It's a cage essentially, and like wires himself out of it, and releases the motherfucking Juggernaut.
Not just any juggernaut. This one fucks your mother.
Probably would.
Specifically, your mother.
You know who you are, Wade.
Someone named Wade right now freaking the fuck out.
You realize that's Deadpool's name, right?
Not until the moment you said
Wade
it.
Wilson.
No, I knew that.
Yep.
It was good for a joke for a second.
Juggernaut looked really nice in this. He was a CG
It's your
character.
mom, Larry, and Larry's like, they called me out of the Deadpool.
They noticed me.
We do notice you, Larry,
Senpai noticed you.
but you haven't hit the notification button.
Why haven't you?
Come on, Larry. Look at us.
We
This is
need
why
it.
we can't monetize.
Yeah, we need it. Hurry up. We need all the views we can get, all the subscriptions.
We're counting on you, Larry.
Not the cable guy, Larry. Other Larry. Yeah, you.
Him too. Call him.
The Juggernaut in this is mostly CG. But it looks good.
Something about his mouth seemed weird to me every time he spoke.
It's because the way the mask and everything. It's like like it's kind of pouting.
Yeah.
It's like
He's
watching
got
some.
permanent duck face.
So it's a little off-putting.
Juggernaut's ready for his selfie.
It's a little off-putting,
It is.
but it works. It does work. It doesn't look terrible.
A little uncanny valley.
A bit. Like you never reach out to Colossus.
No.
You never reach out, but does it kind of do? But it looks overall good from a distance. It looks great up close. It works pretty good. Face shots, a little weird.
No.
Little weird.
Yeah, face
Little
shots not the
weird.
greatest. No.
He looks like he was a reject from Mass Effect Andromeda. Kind of does.
Just remember our joke about it, about sex and Mass Effect Andromeda. You're like,
Yeah, that's a Steam thing. We'll talk about that another day.
there's not. Yeah, there's a.
No, we're gonna stay on topic. Deadpool. So Kid is now teamed up with Juggernaut. Juggernaut punches through the fucking ground, like through the. Well, actually, does kind of punch into the ground of the fucking ground, like the actual like road through the truck. Like he punches a truck, which causes the ground to shatter too.
I thought his whole thing was once he gets going, you can't stop. But you realize he has like force powers, which is like his fists and shit.
He's incredibly strong. Is the point. So he basically they're on a bridge. He shatters the fucking bridge. One punch through the truck. Everyone's falling through. Everyone kind of leaps out. Domino, being the lucky person that she is, lands on a giant inflatable panda. And there's a Stan Lee cameo. It's graffiti on the wall somewhere. I missed it. She missed it. We didn't see it. Yep. There's your cameo. He doesn't actually appear in this movie. Spoiler.
Certain not appears.
Just an image. Yeah, kind of what it is. We're getting to the baby comments. That's coming still.
I just want to do like a cutaway thing from that bit in Monty Python's They're Not Appearing in this film. It's just a picture of Stan Lee.
You haven't noticed I'm wearing the Holy Grail shirt, right?
No, I did.
Okay, is that why you made the comment? No. They're not appearing in this film? That's this great synergy in our jokes.
No, because Monty Python's always in here.
I know. It's great synergy in our jokes.
They live in here. Every time one of them dies, they get sucked into the Mind of Fae.
That's a terrible hell.
Oh, I'm enjoying it.
I didn't say you were. I'm talking about them. I know what goes on in that mind. I've heard the things. So, basically, she lands on the panda. Deadpool lands crotch first into Cable's face. And now, he's like fanboying out about Juggernaut, who comes up and rips him in half.
He actually does what he's I'm being ripped in half by the Juggernaut. I love it.
So basically, they start walking away. The kid's being a douche, as you expect. And Deadpool makes the comment like, "What's he have that I don't? Don't you dare say legs!" And you see the kid go, "Oh, legs." Still fucking hurts.
That's what his joke
like
you was coming was still good.
It was done good. Like he does a little rope walk off the exit here. He doesn't have a real rope there.
Get back here.
And he has Domino carry him like a back. Use his arms like a backpack strap to carry him off. I think we found your cosmic purpose.
They should like keep.
I love
cosmic purpose for me being here.
Yeah.
In the end, it works. I mean,
I do like the fact that when she sees Juggernaut, she goes like, "Hell no!" Just like that. And basically, they're recouping in Blind Owls. And you keep seeing them talk, and like, it's waist up. And he somehow gets her to put her hand on his lap, and it's like, well, I can't remember the actual fucking comment. Your hand's so tiny or whatever. It's like, that wasn't my hand. Yeah. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, why is her hand so tiny?
Yeah. Oh, good lord. And basically now we know that Deadpool's regrowing his lower limbs, all of them, all three of them. And everybody comes in, and this joke does run a bit long.
It does.
Basically, we have Deadpool sitting there with like a shirt on, button-up shirt and everything, dangling out, and completely butt-naked, kind of toddler-looking bottom. Little tiny little stubby legs. Little baby legs. It's funny. It's funny looking. And they're all making comments, and then Cable shows up. And we have the, what was the fucking movie? Something Instincts.
That fucking movie.
Fuck, what was it? Killer Instincts?
You're asking me?
I'm trying to remember. Everyone knows the scene with the crossing legs beaver shot. They do the same thing, but with tiny Deadpool dick shot. You get full frontal Deadpool for like a split second.
They pan away from it.
Yeah, well, they cut away. They cut. Pannings.
Yeah.
And they just start making jokes. And like it's fine for a second. Domino and Weasel make the same joke, and Weasel was like, "Oh damn, she got to it first." Again, he's superfluous in a lot of aspects. He could not have him there. Like, he got captured, spilled the beans on where they were going to be. That's how Cable got there. That's all he was there for, was just to get Cable there.
But Weasel does a good damsel in distress, right?
No, he doesn't. It's annoying. He reminds me of God. What was her name from Temple of Doom?
You're assuming you've seen
Charlie?
I have not seen Temple of Doom.
Like
I have actually not seen any Indiana Jones movie.
Really?
I've seen parts of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because when I was donating plasma, they had all the TVs there.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
I was barely paying attention to it.
It's okay. You missed a terrible movie.
At the time, I was
With
dating
good actors.
At the time, I was dating my phlebotomist, so my attention was a little bit.
I'm sorry. Still,
No,
you don't have to suffer through any of that movie at all. It's bad. Temple Doom's okay. It's very campy. A lot of murder. But yeah, so basically, Deadpool and Cable team up. You learn a little bit more about Cable's family dying, and that was Russell that killed him because he grows up to become an angsty adult, long hair and a hood, and his angry little hair hanging down like it's fucking emo and shit.
He becomes Mr. Fister.
Oh god. You actually see them kill. You actually see in the flashback him killing little wife and daughter. So Deadpool's the whole thing, wanting to have a family and his lover dying. Cable having a family and his family dying. They have this mutual thing. So Deadpool's standing there with his little baby legs after this very serious moment, shaking hands with Cable, and it looks fucking hilarious. Because you have a naked baby ass. And like, he's doing it. You can do it. He's really doing it. Like, they're making fun like a kid having his first walk. It's hilarious.
Look at him go.
It's just like, oh, it's happened again. I love what's the guy's name, the driver?
Depender, I think.
Depender? Yeah, Depender's like, oh, it happened again. It's like, this has happened before? It's like, yeah. It's like, you're not there for everything I do. This is true. Depender was fun in this. I liked him. I liked him in the last movie.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of an unwilling accomplice. Now he's very fucking willing. Yeah. It's so much funnier.
That's why I'm upset if they are going to do a third movie, because then I don't get to see more evolution on Depender.
It's fine. He got to do what he wanted to do.
He did.
But we'll get to that. And the whole thing comes down to they get to the orphanage because the kid wants to kill the guy running the orphanage. And Juggernaut's going to help. Cable wants to kill the kid so this never happens. Deadpool's like, look, I want to help you stop this, but we don't kill the kid. At least let me try to save him. So they're like, okay, you got 30 seconds kind of thing. That's the point of this, is that Deadpool wants to save the kid, Cable wants to kill the kid. Cable's going to let him have a chance, as slim as it is, to try. So they show up, and Juggernaut goes right at him. They get into a fun little fight for a minute. And now we have Colossus versus Juggernaut. The CG fight. And it actually looks good. It looks good.
But yeah, Deadpool even yells out, CG fight, or some crap like that.
Big CG fight income.
Yeah.
And it's good. It works. Meanwhile, while there's all
there
going
wasn't
on,
much flappy mouth going on.
just screaming. Like a fish out of water. So meanwhile, this is going on. The kid's walking through the hallway, taunting this guy. Tell him to tell me what you said before you torture me. What was it?
Something about by my hands.
By my hands. Oh no! You'll be cleansed from the wicked by my hands.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You will be cleansed of your wickedness by my hands.
Some ominous Bible verse will.
Because religion.
Because Christianity. Yay! Rah rah team.
Yeah, fuck those kinds of people. So, this is actually kind of intense, watching this kid basically standing up to his abuser. Because they were shocking the kid. All the different kids here. On stage, in front of in front of the other kids. This was public torture, in front of the other orphans, to call them, in a way. Or at least to call their rebelliousness. And that their mutant powers are evil and wrong. And you can see the kid's hurt. So that's why I said the kid did really good. He really did a good job in showing that hurt. Showing, he'd been abused.
Yeah.
And
And Deadpool's right when he's like, the kid's clearly been abused. You can tell.
Yeah, you really hammered this.
Yeah, I feel like he did a good job selling that.
Yeah. He sells being an angsty teenager and sells that a lot of this is him lashing out. And it gets really intense watching this guy try to dodge, and the kid's launching all this fire and shit. The orphanage is on fire and everything. So they end up having the orderlies coming out, and they make a bunch of pedophile jokes. And Cable and Deadpool handle a good bunch of them. Domino's in there and fighting off trying to save the other kids from the orphanage, because it turns out she was in that orphanage. That was her cosmic purpose, to come back and finish some shit.
Save the orphans from creepy,
torturous asshole.
churchy guy.
Yeah, torturous asshole.
So we the mutant away guy.
Yeah, so we got. So we have the part where the guy's cornered. Deadpool and Cable intervene. Deadpool's trying to stop him. They get launched for their troubles. Deadpool makes one more attempt, gets up there, and starts hugging him. Like, it looks like he's broken through. The kid starts burning him and launches him back, saying, I can't trust you.
Just a valid point.
Yeah. And it finally gets down to the last moments. Deadpool puts on the collar. He had one of the collars, I guess. Puts it on. The convoy, probably. Just there. The convoy. They want to have extras, just in case.
I guess I still remember seeing it. Like,
yeah, they don't show it, but again, it's Deadpool. Pull shit out of his ass all the time. He breaks the fourth wall. It's fine. I can forgive certain little things like that.
He has hammer space. It's cool.
He had it in his prison.
His prison wallet?
Yeah.
That's where he keeps his hammer space.
Yep. And he puts it on. He's going to get the kid. It's like, your killing one's going to be me. But he sees Cable going for the gun. Which is going to mirror what happens at the beginning of the movie with, he tries to take the bullet for the girl, doesn't, and she dies. So he goes here, takes the shot. Very long, drawn-out death.
The joke really is how long and drawn out the death is. And then when he does finally die, no one's sure he's actually dead.
Yeah, but the problem is, even then, that joke kind of ran its course, too. The joke went too long. And I know it's supposed to be funny. It stopped being funny after a while. There was a time they should have cut it. Yeah, and they didn't. So that's another criticism, I know. Terrible being criticized a fun movie. So he dies, finally, and gets to go back and be with her. The entire time, he's not been able to reach her when he dies. There's been some kind of invisible wall they can't get past. And now she's able to break through it and pull through. And he looks all nice and not cancery. And, they're going to be together for a moment. She says, it's not your time. Your family needs you. Because he's been looking for a family. And you're like, okay, well, how's this supposed to work?
I wonder if they're contractually obligated to show his face without being messed up. If that's like part of the agreement for him doing it.
It's a joke. But no, he wanted to do this movie. He pushed for it and he wrote it.
Yeah, no, it's just random thought.
I don't know where that came from, but okay.
It just seems like it's kind of pointless to give him back his nice face.
Well,
his
he's
hair.
dead. Supposed to be in heaven.
Because we completely forgot he even had hair. But there he is. He's got it. It's like, oh yeah, he did have hair once.
Oh yeah, you do look like Ryan Reynolds. But anyway,
put the Deadpool face back on.
So he gets sent back. I'm like, okay, how's this working? Did they take out the collar and he heals, or what? Turns out, Cable uses this little time starter thing, which had only 2 charges: the one travel back and the one back home. He uses it to go back to the point where Deadpool made a really bad tasting joke. Like, he says it's bad taste and an awkward. And Cable stops him, pats on his chest. And it's like, okay, what the hell do you do? Like, is that just to change the joke or something? I'm lost. So then it actually shows a videotape fast forward, past everything again, and a little fast forward, it's them on the bottom, which I thought was funny. And he gets back to where he does the shot. Deadpool takes the shot, and it's like, it's like, oh, he had slipped the token there because he knew where he was going to shoot and knew where to aim. So the token, made of 100% pure lead, stops the bullet, keeps him from dying. The kid still learns his lesson. And we know this because the teddy bear is no longer partially charred blood.
Clean teddy.
Yep, clean teddy bear now, which means wife and daughter are now safe. He'll find a way to get back eventually. So he's going to stay around for a while. And now we got the X-Force. And I guess Colossus is now safe. Or is now part of the X-Force and not the X-Men anymore because he...
Yeah, he kind of waved... he kind of waved
away.
the
I don't
girls
know.
away.
Or he's just doing a dramatic walkway. I don't know. Weird.
I assume he's part of the X-Force.
I guess.
He's just fun.
We forgot one part of this, and we didn't talk about Juggernaut's defeat.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, the fight's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
And Colossus starts fighting fucking dirty, like dick punching and everything. Basically, at one point, we have Yukio, which is Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend. I just make sure I had the name right because it's such a long ass name.
Episodic Teenage
And they're
Warning.
talking like, I'm a lesbian, trying to make it a big thing. He's like, oh my god.
Everyone just kind of blows it off.
And it's like, no, it's not that. It's that I didn't expect anyone would date you, especially not Pinkie Pie over here. And like the running gag is there. It's like, hi Yukio, hi Mr. Wilson, or hi Wade, or something like that. They're all friendly to each other. They like each other. It's funny. Yeah.
She's adorable.
Yeah, that's the joke. So she basically comes in, Yukio does, with her like weird like lasso whip chain thing that's charged electricity and grapples around Juggernaut's legs. He's not kind of prone, like, what the hell is this? Colossus goes over and ends up like somehow actually pulling down his pants, like tearing out the back of his jumpsuit and bare Juggernaut ass. So Colossus in the last one, because after they broke in the light pole, some wires exposed. He gets the wires and that shoves it into Juggernaut's ass cheeks. Nagasonic blasts him forward, goes into the water, and he's electrocuted.
Yep.
But he's still alive, of course. It's the Juggernaut. They didn't make the I'm the Juggernaut bitch joke, though.
Yeah.
That was for next week. But yeah, they all kind of walk off. Everything's all hunky-dory now. He's got his new family. See, I told you it was a family movie.
Family's not an F word. We spell
Yeah.
with PH around here.
That's right. After credit scenes start here, and we have to talk about these. He gets the thing fixed, the little time slider thing, behind Cable's back. Yukio's incredibly intelligent, is the point here. And basically, he now has unlimited time jumping. And it's like, what have we done? So our after credit scenes are going back in time, saving his girlfriend from getting shot.
He saves her from being shot.
And then the next one is he goes back and shoots Deadpool from X-Men Origins.
Yep.
Like, they show a scene from it, and like, standing in the shadows, the claws come out. All of a sudden, you see bang! Collapse. It comes over. Bang, bang, bang. Sorry, just trying to clean up the timeline a little bit. Bang, bang. And walks off. Another jump. Stops Peter from trying to, do anything else. Like, just go home. There's no explanation. Go home.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, can you give Domino my email? And then one more jump to Ryan Reynolds looking at the script for Green Lantern. All of a sudden, gunshot, blood spurt. Ryan Reynolds sitting there with a hole in his head, collapses forward. And you see Deadpool behind him going, "You're welcome, Canada." And walks off. This is the after credit scenes, mind you. That's where all it ends. Now, two things happen during these after credit scenes for me. One, by saving the girlfriend from the beginning of the movie, does that mean we completely negated the whole movie?
I pointed this out at lunch afterwards.
Yeah, it does. It's one of those things where like,
Because
I was questioning it already. Because it's like, that makes no sense.
Because we've established that changes to the timeline have an effect by
stopping
the bear
Russell from becoming murdering asshole.
The bear goes back to being normal and not charred, which means he affected the past, which affected the future, which affects his present. If Deadpool goes back and saves his girlfriend,
the movie doesn't happen.
Yeah, now there's no reason for him to go chasing the guy, chasing the guy that killed her.
Russell will get taken in, possibly.
There's no reason.
Cable will come back and kill him, or he'll just, and then
essentially by saving her, this movie doesn't happen because now there's no reason.
And now Cable's family's dead.
Well, unless someone better suited than Deadpool talks Russell down.
Well, no, because Cable will still come back and try to kill him. Let's say if everything goes normal, Cable will go back in time and kill him.
Well, it's funny because Russell only escapes from the icebox because Cable went to the icebox to kill him.
And because Deadpool was there to help.
Right.
On the fight. So, yeah, it opens a very, very fucked up paradox that because you're trying to think, okay, because of this, and go to that, but then this, and then it's just...
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
So, yeah, that was one of the things I got out of this. The other thing out of this was...
I'm thinking that's all in jest. I don't think that's canon.
I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't, because that completely defeats the ending in every aspect. The whole family thing, the whole Deadpool, being able to let go.
But I don't know. I don't know if she's alive or dead right now.
I don't know.
Which means I don't know if this movie happened or not.
So that means Peter's canon dead still. If that's the case, if it doesn't matter. Or is he canon alive? I don't fucking know.
I don't think I really. I mean, he was adorable, like every man.
What I mean is,
there, but
I care if these have an effect or not, and I don't know if they do or not. And it's like, but the reason the question is the whole thing with him killing the other Deadpool is a separate timeline. It's not even the same timeline. So it's like, how does this work? Does it have an effect? Is it multiverse? Is it not? What's going on? And it just short circuits your brain. The other thing that happened for me in this is that after the whole thing with killing Ryan Reynolds, I got to have my moment. A moment that men and women hope for in their life. That scene happens. Everyone's like, oh my god. And just the whole joke. And I sit there, and I'm just doing this, because I'm like, that's hilarious. All of a sudden, I hear other people going, and I'm like, wait. And I keep going, and I go, and like, everyone's in the theater pretty much clapping. I got to start a slow clap.
He was very proud. I mean,
I am proud of this.
Like, yeah, he was excited. He's like, I'm actually leading a slow clap. And I'm sitting here beside him going,
I had a comedy movie moment.
I'm just drinking a lemonade like, yep, he is.
It's just one of those things where it's like, and you see those in comedies and bad romance movies, the slow clap. That doesn't really happen like that for like stupid reasons. Slow claps happen, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, this is out of nowhere slow clap. Like, I get started out of nowhere slow clap. Yes, I got it. I don't care. That makes me look stupid. I don't care. I was proud.
I'm very happy for you. All right.
Here, you started slow clap. You give me the sympathy clap. I'm happy with myself.
You accomplished a life goal.
Yep.
You got your slow clap, and one day I will kill someone with just my sense of humor alone. I almost had it one time, but the guy was driving. I didn't want to die too.
Yeah. So I think the one big thing we can take away from this, as our last discussion of the spoiler section, is there's no villain. There is no actual villain.
No.
The whole aspect of the villain here is time and choices.
It's really more man versus society than.
Well, it's not even that.
Or
It's
man versus world rather than man versus man. Which is what
man versus circumstances.
Which is what we're traditionally seeing out of like superhero movies. It's usually man versus man, whereas this is more like a man versus world, man versus environment sort of
in a way,
narrative.
Yeah, and it works out really well, even if they're not being a villain. They give you he's like Juggernaut's not a villain in this. He's a tool at best. Yeah. He's.
You can't even really say that Russell's.
What's the hero's journey? What would he be? The gatekeeper?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. Hero. I have to go back here for the hero's journey, because there is an actual thing for this.
Yeah, I know there is. I just usually ignore it because I find the whole thing kind of tiresome and tedious.
It's a theory. It does kind of work for a narrative structure. That does work.
Everything.
It would be
your story. Like, oh, it's just a hero's journey. Like, hooray!
Threshold Guardian.
You know what? I'm
Threshold Guardian. That's what it was. The Threshold Guardian basically stops it challenges our hero and stops
like
them
a first
from
year writing class.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know about the night.
Yeah, but say basically just stops them from all he is. That's all he is. Just a wall to stop them reaching their goal of getting to the kid. That's it. That's all he is in this movie, which is fine. He works out for what his role is in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's writing 101, but sometimes here's the thing about writing 101. A lot of people don't study it. No, I won't go into another rant about The Last Jedi, I promise. I'm not. I said I'm not. And I'm
I
not.
just right now want to see like Vietnam footage behind me. That's sort of feeling right now. It's just that whole like.
You're just hearing white noise. Every time the words Last Jedi escape my mouth. That's why I'm telling you that I'm not going into a rant about it. I was reassuring you we're not going that route.
I'm starting to have PTSD about that movie.
In the end, though, the lack of a villain was actually a good thing, I think, for this, because you don't need a villain.
Yeah,
because it was a personal story.
Yeah.
So
this was a character development.
It was a character-driven story, not just development, because time travel kind of cancels it. We think. We don't
if
know.
that's canon.
We don't know. Ryan Reynolds, tell us if it's canon or not, just so we know. I want to know how to feel.
Or is she dead?
I'm not gonna make the Schrodinger comment again.
No, it was a good joke. It was a smart joke. Make it again for the camera. For the camera.
What was it called? It Schrodinger's bear. Was it Schrodinger's teddy? or Schrodinger's daughter. Is she alive or dead? Because that brings in the whole thing of the whole, does this count with the timeline thing? That is what I called it.
Something like that.
I don't
It's dead. It's dead. We killed it.
Or is it?
No, I opened the box.
Hey, at least I didn't
It's dead.
I didn't put, women in the fridge, the fucking character from the last movie, to get the plot going. At least you know that term.
Life in a jar.
No. Woman in the fridge, fridging. Yeah, it's a comic term.
Oh, is it?
It's a comic nerd term. Yeah, it was used when Kyle Rayner's girlfriend is basically killed and stuffed in a fridge to create a story, a plot, and purpose. It's actually a very derogatory term when used.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
They kind of did that in this.
It's kind of like when I giggle because we start talking about how Jesus is just a Mary Sue.
But anyway, spoiler section's over. Let's get into the final thoughts. Welcome back to those of you that skipped the spoilers. So, general thoughts, good movie. Still has problems in the fact that it just feels a bit too overweight for its own good. It could use a little more trimming in the narrative and the jokes a bit and streamline a bit more. And a tighter script, much like the first one, I think would have helped this a lot. But still a good outing, a good sequel compared to a lot of terrible sequels we tend to see.
Yeah, it was. This definitely isn't a terrible sequel, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was well worth going, spending the money to see, especially if it's his money. I recommend spending his money to go see it.
I'm not paying for everyone else. I pay for you because you at least help me with shit. And because you're my friend. I'm not friends with all of them. I'm friends with some of them that watch. I don't know all the people that watch. I can't be friends with people I never talk to or don't know.
I'll be your friend.
And she's kind of a friend whore that way. Everyone's her friend. She's like the Barney of our group.
I friend you.
Oh God, no.
You friend me. Drunk.
Overall, your thoughts are still a good movie?
Still a good movie.
Because I know you had a different thought than me when it comes to the narrative.
Still recommend. Yeah, I didn't find the slowdowns and all the unnecessary jokes to be as egregious, but I went into it thinking of it more of as a comedy movie and less as a superhero movie.
Well, here's the thing. If you think of it strictly as a comedy, the problem is the jokes sometimes last too long.
Yeah.
Which again is detrimental to a comedy. So I don't look at it strictly. I look at it as a comedic superhero movie.
But
yes.
all in all, I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than he did.
In some ways, yeah, I can see that. But again, we're not coming away from this as a terrible movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. Definitely go see it. It's something worth seeing.
Yep. So I guess it's time to rate it. And for those that haven't joined us before, our rating system is a 1 to 5 star kind of thing with half stars being an option. So I'll let you start this one because I did the last time.
I'm terrible at this kind of thing. I have no idea why you make me put numbers to things.
Arbitrary fun.
Just to watch me squirm and go, now I have to put a number to it?
Yeah.
Where do I feel like it fits in? I mean, it was
Well,
a fun movie.
It's
It was a good
It's
movie.
like, how good is this compared to...
There was no Black Panther.
Yeah, I agree. It is no Black Panther. It was no Infinity War,
No.
and it was no Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, a little below the Guardians of the Galaxy.
A lot below the Guardians of the Galaxy as far as the humor in that. Because Guardians was a good constant.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stop and go. I would put Deadpool closer to a Guardians, the original Deadpool, closer to a Guardians.
Yeah.
By far, and in that aspect.
This was closer to Guardians 2, maybe a little.
Yeah.
Maybe a little.
Yeah,
above
because Guardians 2 was definitely weaker.
I think this
Yeah,
is
that's
this is
initial
better than
outing.
Guardians 2.
This is more of that. I would.
Yeah.
So,
What are we thinking there? Like a 4?
low 4.
Like a low
A
4?
low 4. Not enough to go below 4.
Here's my phone.
But
It's
enough to
waiting
be on that lesser end where I would see it again. I will purchase it. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
But I think what part of the problem is, a lot of times it pulled its punches.
It did.
It did. It did not go as far with the gore in a lot of ways than the first one did.
Which I'm alright with. I'm bored.
No. But I'm saying I think that's why this one feels less.
Right.
In a lot of ways. It didn't push the envelope like the first one did. It didn't push the jokes. It didn't push the gore. It didn't push the action.
Yeah, I really feel that they didn't take a whole lot of.
There were a lot more safer aspects they went with. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but I think that was part of the identity of Deadpool as a film series.
No holds barred.
Yeah,
no
one
punches pulled.
This one
comedy
did
bomb.
more commentary jokes, in a way. and it's fine, but that's not necessarily Deadpool without the gore. Like there was still some gore here, but it wasn't as visceral.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes away. Like there's times where I was like, oh no, like where I turned away because we didn't talk about Domino's fight at all.
No.
Near the end of the movie, and there was sometimes like that scene happened sometimes where I was like, oh no, and looking away, which I don't do gore that much. Like certain things I go like and watch, but sometimes like no, like I know something happened, I'm not like oh no, and I look at the aftermath and I'm fine. Like watching that shit happen like hurts me, like which again why I've never seen the Evil Dead remake. Like just some of the stuff I've seen from trailers and certain little snippets, like no, I could not make it through that movie. I can't do it. But I strictly just
I'm burnt out on violence. I've had enough for a lifetime.
I strictly can't do the gore. But I think that was actually to the detriment of this movie. Was they pulled back on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Cat hair. Unless your hair's turning white on me.
It does do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is currently.
Not that scene. But yeah, I think that's why for me it's on the lower 4. What about you?
Yeah.
Still a solid movie.
Still a solid movie.
Still worth the money. Still above average.
Yeah.
Well above average.
And one of the better comedy movies I've seen in the past few years.
Especially the way it handles the celebrity.
Yeah.
So
The tone is consistent
yes.
throughout the movie.
Yes.
They definitely nailed that. So yeah, I recommend seeing it. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go out and see it. Even if you sat through our spoiler section and feel like you've now seen the entire movie just with our voices instead of the
No, you really
casts.
haven't.
No, you really haven't.
No, it's still worth it.
We
Like,
didn't-
even when somebody tells you the entire movie, you're not really seeing the movie.
Especially on this
in a
one.
lot of
This one's
ways.
got a lot of clever jokes.
Yeah,
a lot
that
of-
we didn't touch on. We touched on just the more outstanding funny stuff, but there's a lot of smaller ones that we didn't touch on that were still funny. Because a lot of times it's visual gags. So I think that is another problem, is that they didn't shut up sometimes with the jokes.
Have we reviewed a movie yet where we told people not to go Power Rangers?
So yeah, overall, it was not.
Yeah. More.
That movie was terrible. Ghostbusters was terrible. Last Jedi is terrible, but you kind of need to see it. This one is not anywhere near that.
Yeah, this is a good movie.
This is a good movie. Go see it when you can, as soon as you can, because otherwise, if you don't want to be spoiled, you're going to be spoiled.
It's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, go see it as soon as you can. So, yep. 4 stars from both of us, with a recommendation to see it. Yeah, that's all we've got for this one. I want to make the quick talk on this. My schedule with my kids is going to be changing for the summertime, as it has for the last few years once everything was finally settled. So, my kids will be with me on the weekends, which is when we do a lot of our recording because I work during the week. So there's going to be some changes where we're going to see less of certain things. We do still plan on seeing Ant-Man and Wasp. But with that, yeah, it means you're now have my kids with me, which I'll take them to see Ant-Man and Wasp. I won't take them to see this, obviously. But you can expect...
Sanders's kids review Deadpool 2.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd make me a great dad. But
CPS
on that note, they will be joining us for reviews for a little while here and there because Ant-Man and Wasp is on the list to be seen.
I want to need a bigger couch.
Thanks on the floor. We'll just have a lower shot.
Lord, chill.
We'll just lower shot it.
Aye.
And just aim it up. Or something. I don't know.
I got you.
I'm not going to let him sit on my lap. Shine's getting too heavy for that. She's going to be a big girl now.
She's a big girl. I made that joke.
Yeah, if you did make that joke, you're repeating yourself. So they will be joining us. The planned reviews for now, Ant-Man and Wasp. I will be taking my kids to see Hotel Transylvania 3 because they like the series. I actually do like the series. I like the Hotel Transylvania stuff because it deals with the monsters in a more comedic way, but more of a dealing with them as like dealing with family.
See, I don't know any of this stuff because I don't watch much children's programming.
You don't watch animation stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Try to think what else is supposed to be coming down.
I've got some Let's Plays in the work right now. I'm actually setting things up for probably a very long-running series.
The Minecraft.
Actually, World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I've decided one of the things I'd like to do. If the test
Fakecraft. World of Fakecraft.
World of Fakecraft. I've decided what I'm
Called WAF for short.
WAF.
Sorry.
But I said what I'd like to do is maybe some videos on, maybe a few how-to videos, how I do a few things, maybe some going through old raids. But one of the things I'm mostly interested in is there's a lot of stories in the world that don't really get told. And I think it'd be fun to go through each zone and kind of tell the story of the zone and kind of see how the quests go and what the actual overarching story is. So I figured I could do that. I rolled up just a ton of alts so that I can run through the areas.
And the best part is you can do all the editing you want and then send the final product.
Yes, I have my own editing software and all that good stuff.
It's so nice. I don't have to do all the editing anymore.
We tested that with an ARC series that I never finished or uploaded at all.
Well, because you had not making changes.
Yeah.
Because you were still Drifter at that point.
Yeah, that was right in the middle of the uncertainty of the whole transition.
Your identity crisis.
Yeah, well, Wonder Rat Crisis was more about...
Well, it was, because you didn't understand how it was going to handle the people.
True.
You were still doing personal stuff on it.
True.
And coming to terms with it, too. True. Well, it did come to a positive.
That means,
there were still issues.
That means that we missed one of my favorite jokes in a Let's Play I've ever recorded, which was the commentary on what the male character looks like. Maxwell Ubermensch, because even his jowls have jowls. Jowls!
So there's stuff in the pipeline coming.
You.
I haven't had time to do any Let's Play stuff because when I don't have my kids around, there's other kids in the house, and they're loud and obnoxious and in the way.
My kitties are now old enough that they're roaming around the house and therefore have been exiled from Feyland. They are now in regular Earthland. It's cool.
One was just meowing.
Yep. Well, their mother's in heat, so.
There's only one person in the house that can help her, and he has no testicles.
Eh.
But yeah, there's more stuff coming. I'm going to try to do more Let's Play stuff here and there. The kids are going to be involved a little bit more. There is one thing I do want to do eventually, and that is get D&D on here.
Oh, I would love to do, yes,
we
I
need
would love
camera
to record.
We need cameras and microphone stuff to pick up a little easier. Mm-hmm. Let's end this video.
Okay, bye.
We're skipping a lot of the shit. We're cutting out some of this because it went on way too long in the end here. So, thanks for joining us. See you in the future videos from me and Faye, and soon to be the kids, when my two join us for future reviews for the next few months. So until then, and whenever our next videos come out, whatever they may be, I'm Sandros.
And I'm Faye.
Thanks for joining us on Real to Real, and we'll see you at the movies for the next one. Later.
Bye-bye.